And welcome guys to Masters of Arena 5 winner bracket semi-finals. Let's take a look at the brackets. We are seeing CL against st4rk here today. The winner will advance and play the Viper in the winner bracket finals. The loser will go down to play Dracont. This Wednesday we will have Tedo against Winchester. Let's take a look at the civilizations that they have picked, and we see, well, probably should take that overlay, right? Left hand side will be CL, right hand side up top here will be st4rk. So st4rk will play with Spanish, Britons, Ethiopians, Indians and Berbers, and will face the mighty Incas, Turks, Franks, Magyars and Mongols. I'd say we have seen enough and should just jump into game number 1 here. Masters of Arena 5 winner bracket semifinals. We're in for a best of 7. In the blue trunks will be Mr. CL picking the Turks and already trying to engage st4rk with some action here, who instantly is calling a restart, so didn't really want to lose any sheep early on here, and therefore we don't even need to take a look at the map. Turks against Spanish guys. I'd say Turks has a small advantage here, but I can see why you would say Spanish isn't that bad either. And well, st4rk with the Jublor. Aye. And this is the time for you guys to post your predictions in the chat. Who's going to take it? CL, who is also known as Happy, or the Brazilian Nations Cup champion, Mr. st4rk himself? What do you think? Always the woman villager. We've waited for weeks, we can't wait another few minutes. 4-1 st4rk. Okay. Gonna be 4-3 or 3-4. Admin wins st4rk. That's an interesting prediction. 4-3 CL, 4-3 st4rk, 4-2 st4rk. 2-4 CL, 4-1 st4rk. Okay, so seems like somewhat split, but more people on the side of st4rk here. Not predicting him to win. I think on paper he should be the favorite, but will be interesting for sure. A lot could happen here. It seems like people won't be going for tower rushes though, so games could go very long here every single time. We have a bit more than 2.5 hours left till we start the Viper against Tedo games. Who called the restart? It was Mr. st4rk. So too, I think you can find better adjectives to describe his Civ picks. Prediction: rest out wins. Well, in my heart, rest out always wins. Always wins. And the second try. Let's take a look at this. We have the Turks for CL and st4rk going for the Spanish. His map looks a bit better now, but gold somewhat in the woodlines here. Trying to go out with his scout quite early, but this time his food is pretty protected in the back, or is it? He found all his sheep, yeah, so that's super fine for him. Didn't even find the starting 4 sheep. So CL playing this super aggressively. Well, he saw them but didn't really collect them, so to say. Viper wins the journey, but doubt wins our heart. Well, sounds fair. Oh, that's an early boar, and didn't even pick up all the sheep. Interesting. And still scouting was too. I'm curious. Would this be a tower rush? Hitting this boss so early? But if he... well, that's a bad spot for him as well. If he was going for tower rush in his arsenal, why wouldn't he pick Korean even once? Like, obviously you can only pick it once, but that's surprising to me. And we'll see now. Third villager on wood. If he sends a fourth one, it's not likely to be a tower rush though. So maybe I just got overexcited and he just went for a different build up here than we normally see. Every time you remove the fog of war, I expect to see Arabia now. Oh, and I got a message from Special One. Oh, sadly, Eddie didn't ask me to co-cast. He only said if I wanted to join a team game. Well, seems like he doesn't know what's on the menu today. Scared of lemming inside walls. He has a pretty defensive map. Look at that. Defense of gold, defense of stone, defense of gold, defense of gold, defense of stone. That's even an extra stone for him, right? Look at that. There's 3 stone spots here. Pretty sweet stuff. Well, 1 tile away from the berry, something we don't see too often. Quite surprised by that. Wait, what? Not 100% sure what you're so surprised about. He just took his first war very early on and still has 6 sheep left. So is kind of guaranteed to have his TC running after that, but he's obviously rotting a bit faster there. And sending in 5 on berries. That's a bit weird to me. Awesome houses. Well, protecting the TC from potential pet out goals later on. Viper the Stark final. Well, it would be the winner brackets final if Stark wins this best of 7. So that absolutely is possible. And yeah, but still, Viper just seems so dominant in this tournament. It's ridiculous. But maybe he's getting somewhat cold. Maybe playing too much deathmatch now. Not focusing on the second most important, or third most important tournament. Training for Battle of Africa, playing deathmatch in his free time, even playing other games on his stream now. Maybe Stark with 100% focus and motivation can get a game over 20 minutes before he resigns. Maybe. Outlaw? Yeah, it went back pretty ugly. Oh, it seems like the Chinese somewhat lost their connection to nature. I lost 1 game in the whole tournament and it was a bugged map that he didn't read. And it was against a tower rush. Up 25 up. But will still be a fast caster. I don't think he should send a 3rd villager on gold here. I'm nearly salty because Viper displaced him at number 1 on team game ladder. I don't care about rating Rogan Wololo. It's very unimportant to me. Gee, I'm crying a bit, but yeah, it is ugly that this pleb came over and just dominating the DM world now as well. I used to be the random map hero of the DM world. Feels bad, man. But oh, long distance wolf action. But Stark actually loomed. Interesting. Not the greatest lure over here as well. Or push. Actually, it's not a lure, right? It's a push. Like luring means pulling something behind you? Or am I wrong here? Will he get enough food? Like the buildings will be in time. 500 food for him. He's not on stone yet. It seems a bit interesting. We'll have cons for Stark. A very early uptime obviously indicates that we won't see Janissaries or his enemy as well, because he's lacking food nonetheless. Probably buying 100 food now. Yeah, okay. Well, still a reasonable uptime here. 14:38. Play 25 plus 2. That's a solid start by him. Actually clicking up to Castle Age before Dark is actually reaching the Feudal Age. So that will be a big difference for sure. NCL, maybe just booming first, then going on to Janissaries later, might win the mind games here against Stark, who is really rushing that market. Is he trying to only build one villager? No, he's building 2 villagers. Look at how early the market finished. He has a Spanish building bonus and still built the market with 3 villagers. Could actually build him with 1. That's really weird to me. I'm trying to go for another scout off. Obviously wants to scout before CL reaches Castle Age. And that's a solid minute and 20 seconds difference. With only 2 more villagers. So Evan, Loom, kind of hurts Stark here. The villagers need to see. But now taken care of. Let's maybe switch into the point of view of CL. What he is going for. Feels like a boom to me. Well, but still 5 villages in gold, so I will take that back. That will be at least 1 monastery, more likely even 2. Does he maybe feel Janissaries cannot hold up to strengths of the Conquistadors? And that's 1 extra TC at the stone. No monastery yet. Building it very defensively. Normally you want to see it over here, but well, not the greatest of differences, obviously. Suck. Played the typical 3 villagers onto Stone and Dark Age, plus 2 in Feudal Age to instantly have enough stone to build that castle. And look how it perfectly lines up. This Castle Age will be reached in 12%, and then he will have more than enough stone to build a castle. CL actually abusing the market quite a bit and buying wood. Maybe wants to go for another monastery. What is he up to? Castle by Mr. Stark. This is actually Walt. I didn't see that tree before, so it has to be super safe. 5 villagers still on stone. At the same time, CL building TC number 3 and sending some villagers on stone. Stark actually getting cartography, an upgrade we don't see too often anymore, sadly, because with 5.7 it gets researched automatically when you build the market. Feels bad, man. Dark walls are pretty, and 2-layer. Pretty sweet for him. He won't take a lot of damage and therefore could boom quite a bit. Oh, snacking the first monk here. Can easily 3-hit him, and the light cav was not around to protect the monk. Stark should just run home and yeah, will be super safe. Will reach the castle without any problems at all. CL should actually consider not going in there. Oh, he's trying to fight with the Conquistador? As a help? Why isn't he trying to trap the light cav? Makes so much more sense to me. Second monk now trying to catch the relic and carry it home. Okay, yeah, grab the relic. Playing it very passively. This far, only 1 kill of that poor monk. TC number 3 for Stark as well. CL, surprisingly, only 5 villagers ahead. Didn't add the 2 extra TCs instantly. Has 1 more relic. Should get, I would say, 2 or 3. But then it's getting tricky. 1 is up over here. He's grabbing that one for sure. And then we are fighting for the 2 left-hand side relics. I would be surprised if Stark is allowing CL to get all those. Opening some more farms around. Wheelbarrow. A bit late, but still super reasonable here at pop 46. st4rk most likely doesn't have wheelbarrow either. And there's only 2 villagers behind. That's quite surprising to me. And indeed, no wheelbarrow for him. Now building a gate. Oh, actually didn't have an opening down here. It's blocked by the stone, so could only get out on that way. And that's a Brazilian way to build gates. Because if you build the gate over the stone wall for a small second, units could rush in. I think in this case, Das could have built it over this stone gates anyways. And this way, you just build it behind, delete a wall, and are always super safe. Now actually having villagers. That's just too weird. Is TL maybe thinking about imping? Well, let's take a look here. Conquistadors against monks. 2 monks down. st4rk is rushing in and gets 3, gets 4. What happened here? Why didn't TL get a single convert? He started to convert instantly and isn't happy with that. But st4rk is. Wow, how did that happen? Sorry, I'm an atheist. Oh, no conversion possible as it seems. Hi, probably prepared that punchline for years and was just waiting for the right moment, and then he dropped it. Sorry, I'm an atheist. And whole Brazil went like, whoa, did you really say that? Oh, greatest joke ever. Could go for another kill against the Lightcap here. Yeah. Probably CL changing his Chinese name to Sad. Oh, even TC number 4. Ooh. Wheelbarrow. Really joke. Okay, now going for a castle after. Only 2 relics. Didn't pick up that 3rd one. Did he scout that one? Yes, he did. Actually, he sees all of them. Patrolling over here makes kind of a lot of sense to me. Why are you just not watching the VOD to see what's banned and what's not? All the information in the world there. Okay, now sending a villager aggressively here and building a siege workshop. What do you think? We're at minute 26. What does he think he has a timing? Against what? It's easier to ask friends. Okay. If you call Robo your friend, then go ahead. Oof. Not sure if I would feel happy for Robo or sad for you. But, well, let's focus on this game. It seems like a very late ramp push is now coming against CL, who will be going for Janissaries and Bombard Cannons, as it seems. Monks actually sneaked around and could maybe even snag those relics away. That would be pretty interesting. We'll get at least 3. And take a look. Janissaries should get cleared up here and running instantly in this. And, well, how can you... I justified this with being atheist. Not really. KD now a brutal 10-1. Oh, actually saving this one. Interesting. And killed the slide cap at the same time. You're so toxic today? What do you mean? Today. Well, it's just arena, guys. And one player doesn't like to kill. And oh, that's denied. Is there an all-cap Sunday on this channel? Yeah, feel free. Feel free, guys. Oh, shouldn't that be like the best tricky thing? Like, or catch chat for subscribers? Something like that. Now we're trying to get the second castle up. Villagers, 20 more for Stark, who is now adding probably some stables. Building the barracks now and taking the... Did he take the defense upgrade? No, he's actually taking the stone upgrade. Maybe only wants to go for Bloodhounds. That was a pretty big hit, but luckily those conquistadors have enough HP. Will not get a lot of damage done though here. Just kills the house and then goes back. Did deny that relic and that relic though. And it's actually going for the Halberdier Ram push against the Turk player. Now that's something we don't see too often, going for the second barracks. And interesting stuff, and that will actually be the perfect counter to what CL is doing, because CL thought, okay, this guy is either going conquistadors or maybe cavaliers, so better build some camels. And well, camels won't perform too great against halberdiers. It is 5.6, so they don't perform as poorly, but still poorly. Not even trying to micro here, just runs back. Oh, actually, is he? Some shots done. Okay. That's a lot of resources for Stark in the band. Look at that. 1k, 2k, 1k. Now getting all the upgrades. Ay, 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 ay. That's a pretty solid eco. I love how he's building those houses at the edge of the map so that he can get more farms in his base, although he has enough space anyways. But just to be super sure, maybe he gets pushed, needs to build some barracks later on, or needs to switch into stables somehow. And yeah, therefore he just guarantees him that possibility. Now going for the siege workshop, and we're expecting capped RAM upgrade, followed by the siege ram upgrade pretty soon. And yeah, it feels like CL needs to go on to a lot of Janissaries and needs to micro them pretty well to really deal what Stark is going for. Stark has the sickest boom in the game. I'd say he's a top 2 boomer in the world in this game. Yeah. Now, castle number 3 here, more on the aggressive side. She got punished by some wolves. And Ramgo now getting prepared, and the siege ram upgrade as well. And now the question is, will Stark try to defend this forward base, or will he just try to counterattack? Which actually is an option because it is still open. Not the greatest gold spot from before. I mentioned that earlier. Oh, interesting gate here. Obviously Stark could just delete his own walls, go around and kill this, or just go around the forest, but I like the idea behind that gate. What are we seeing here? Is that elite skirmishes? Yeah, Stark is playing this Byzantine style. Going for pure trash this far, at least in Imperial Age. They built some conquistadors before though. We saw, and well, now 144 villagers should really stop that production. Otherwise he could get into troubles. And speaking of getting into troubles, those traps are kind of exposed to those bombard cannons now. Janissaries around as well. The push needs to start. Where is Stark's army? Yes, 52 military, but I cannot really see it at the moment. Traps trying to do their damage against the bombard cannons. The ram go, and he did send some over, and look at that. That's just beautiful. Those rams are taking very little damage against the Janissaries, against the castles. Halberdiers completely safe as well. And this will be an interesting situation. Oh, Bombard Cannon is getting microed. Good job here. But all those things are going down. And at the moment, st4rk does not really have an answer. Now finally pulling the villagers. The guy with no answer is obviously CL here. Losing more farms. That TC went down, and now the Halberdiers, surprise, coming out, and they will deal with those villagers quite nicely for sure. In the meanwhile, the push kind of stopped here. The 3 traps did a beautiful job of sniping down 1 or 2 bombard cannons, and even threatening the 3rd one. At the moment, CL simply has no answer to that. Pop 200 against Pop 130. The ram push continues, losing all the relics here as well. At the moment, no player with any relic gold income. Sniping down those traps here, something he should absolutely do. He just focused quite a bit. Castle at 800 HP. Now those rams could maybe take care of that. Halberdiers coming through, and the base of CL just completely vanished here. Pop 110 out of 120. He is just struggling so much, losing another TC. Simply has no answer to the Halberdier ram push. He could not go for onagers. Camel's not really an answer. Janissary is not really an answer. I believe his strategy wasn't the greatest here. Trying to go into the late game against a guy with siege rams. Obviously one of the big weaknesses of the Turks, or like to play against, is one of the big weaknesses. You need to have a lot of bombard cannons to defend that, or a lot of siege rams yourself, but to switch into camels first and janissaries. The somewhat not super fast boom, not getting all the relics, and this was everything in between, but not one clear strategy for me, and therefore st4rk is leading after game number uno. Number uno. Look at that wood difference as well. Sick. Yeah, only had 1 gold. Maybe due to his relics as well. And obviously the Turk bonus. Patience. Oh. Ammo with very close base FI can be distributed to every boom. Yeah. Our bases 4 TC should be better than 3 TC. Depends on the saves, I would say. But FI is pretty strong in short distances. But maybe Moncross is even better. Yeah. So Dracon, who has the best arena boom? That would be interesting. Like I could give some names, like the obvious ones, but I wouldn't really know. Stefan, I heard Stefan as well. I heard Stefan, Miguel, Viper, and a lot of people are saying Doubt, but I'm not sure about that. Tano said Stefan as well. Weakness 1. Ay. Oh. Viper can boom very well if he can actually tries, but he never rushes him too much. What are your ambitions for 1v1 RM? Still aiming for top 32? Yeah, top 32 before 1st of May. That would be great. Yeah, that's my ambition. I'm not sure what I am at the moment. Probably top 32. Lian Keith, definitely best arena boom. Kappa. Best one TC booms. Well, not even that. Will Tyrants have 2 teams in Battle of Africa? No. At the moment, Slam doesn't have a team. Back-T will play with his Vietnamese friends, and Fire and Ryot are playing with Dogao and Miguel. I would say he's at least top 25 best boomers in Hamburg, Germany. Well, maybe. What's the push-up count at the moment? I feel very strong. I think I listed it. I still am doing my files, and I listed 45, but I think I'm higher than that. Yesterday I did 34, 33, 33, and after finishing 34, I felt like I had a lot more in me. Okay guys, then let's take a look at what potential civs could be coming up for us here. Oh! How did I screw that up? Talents and Byzantines were banned, and then we had the pick of Turks and Spanish behind that. And we have 4 more games coming up with all those picks. Isn't Slam teaming Spring and the Brothers? No, that's Hira. Hira's playing with Spring and the Brothers. Why is Rio not with Siren? He's not better than... Is he not better than Tado and Jordan? Well, he isn't playing a lot. He isn't... Let's say he just wants to play with his Brazilian friends as well, as a team, and like speak Portuguese as well. Yeah, let's stay with that version of my story, and we should jump into game number 2 here, played on, surprisingly, Arena, because this tournament is called Masters of Arena. And we are looking into Incas here for CL and Ethiopians on the other side for Mr. St4rk. So I'm expecting a villager loss if he didn't jump into the TC there. And well, again, a lot of sheep to left. 7 sheep, and then took the first board. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. Okay. So 1 sheep and then took the boar. Seems to be the new meta for him. How did the M journey go? Well, I don't want to spoiler, but no spoilers, but not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. Actually, pretty good. Some could say very well. Yeah, it was a 4-0 win. Thanks for asking, though. Well, Ethiopians can't do anything versus Inca. Can they not? Okay. Feels bad, man. You're predicting trash. I am predicting not a single trash in this whole series. Not the greatest woodline here for Arena. You do monks, onagers, arbalest as Incas, and Ethiopians as TD. Okay, can Ethiopians not go for SO arbalests themselves? How do the monk of Incas look? Are they so good? I can see redemption, I can see block printing. With no atonement, so maybe monk rush could be the big option. But Stark monks are looking... No redemption. Ay, ay, ay. Pretty crappy. So villager idle time there as well. Oh, actually opening those gates and now trying to build some palisade gates here. Going to create a big arena to include those deer. I kind of like that. Obviously, he puts himself in a somewhat more vulnerable spot, but if CL decides to push over here, that means that he is pretty late, loses a lot of time, and at the same time, this can get walled off quite reasonably. I think would have preferred a stone wall delete than a gate delete here. Ow. But, well, that's splitting hairs quite heavily. Oh, and that's more than one villager on gold, and that looks like I have no idea. TL, educate me. Well, what are we witnessing here? That's 5 villagers on wood. Lots on gold, now going for another farm. What is this strategy, guys? He's not on deer? Is he trying to go for fast castle? He won't have enough wood for buildings? Now pushing one deer. Got him fuel age, will punish him. What is this? Okay, now on the market. Well, it will be a fast castle, but just with 3 villagers instead of 2 added. Okay. Maybe even 4 villagers added, because he still didn't build the barrack. Yeah, seems like 4 villagers added. That's not a great start here by CL. Where's the blacksmith? Putting it over here. Buying 100 food here. CL should be clicking up pretty soon, but that will be 4 villagers for him. And st4rk actually needs to balance his eco as well, and is clicking up now. 5 seconds later, is he doing loom again? No. What? How is st4rk 1 villager behind? He's 30 seconds behind. Is that weird? And st4rk is on stone indeed. Maybe he's drunk 2 days ago was Chinese New Year. Well. Okay. Let me do something we don't do often enough. And look through the achievements at this point. Economy. More for CL. So that's, oh god, nearly math. 3k, 4k, 4.1, close to 4.2. And this is tough too. 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 4.1. Okay, it's very close. That was nearly math at the best. Okay, so CL didn't lose too much there. Both needed to use the market, so not the biggest of differences. What? We'll have the drop off here. And now the question is, what will st4rk really do? Defensive castle? And Ethiopian action? Going for shotels, but not on gold. I like those walls over here. 1 extra TC, so that would be a defensive castle by him. And he sees eagles. And a monastery. How does st4rk have 100 gold? He wasn't on gold all game long, right? Seems like he sold just a bit too much. And to wall more at that right hand side as well. Don't like the mining camp of CL there. Only SRTC and actually lost a villager to a mighty hippo. Oh, that's why you should never get angry with hippos or provoke them. Because that could happen. You could lose your life and a half. I'm glad my children don't have Nydia as a math teacher. Ah, if you say that, you probably don't have children. My prediction. Yeah, what is the hippo sound? Like when a hippo attacks. We have the wolf making woo. But what is a hippo? Ark? Yeah, we need to 90 arc. No, that's not the hippo sound. I have no idea what a hippo is doing for sound. Loom now for Stark. He's 5 villages ahead, but still not the best of defenses because he opted for 2 extra TCs. That will be interesting. I need to really get that castle up pretty quickly. We're 2.2k HP away from DL being in. Now trying to rush that castle. Seems like Stark will be fine though. Orb 100 extra stone as well. Now pulling even more villagers. Really wants to rush that out. And he will be safe. Getting some more walls up. I think those could be palisade gates as well. Don't need to be stone gates. And see, I will get in, but only into the first layer. 6 villager lead for Stark. At the moment, obviously, his equal isn't better because he is sending a mass amount of villagers here to build that castle. And CL will have all map control. And 30C. Well, that villager difference won't really grow either. Whoop. Second loss for CL. One against the wolf. Maybe a second one against the wolf. Okay, now healing. Aye, that's cheating! That's cheating! Aye. Someone call Peter, please. Two poor hippos going down. Back, going for siege workshop here to defend. Interesting. I think CL cannot do anything here. So, not 100% sure if that is really needed. But I felt better safe than sorry. And I think actually hippos sound like this. What does a hippo say? Ring ding 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 ding. Well, maybe that's what the hippo says when no one is there and listens. Oh, hippos in real life? So did I. Actually, quite often. At least in 3 or 4 different zoos and in real life. Not that zoos aren't real life, but I know. Like, in the wild. Not sure if that is doing too much damage here for CL, but, well, I don't mind that he's trying to go for something. Now spreading his monks a bit more. What does CL actually see of Stark's base? Not too much. So yeah, was just trying to get another angle. And that villager was somewhat ambitious. Redemption now. Ooh, maybe you can do some damage that way. 9 villagers behind is CL, but getting handcard now. Redemption though will take some time, and now he's switching heavily onto stone, so maybe the Kama Yugi action will start pretty soon. And now redemption could start. Well, what is he? Why didn't he chase that way? Okay. Oh, and now the Magno cannot really do a lot. st4rk trying to get another defensive castle up, even deleting that Magno. Oh, this could be interesting. Market is converted. Could that delete it? Why is he not deleting it? And the walls behind this are somewhat finishing. Monks behind here not really doing their greatest job. Eagle Scouts are around. Obviously, they aren't doing too much of damage. Knowing that they will die under the castle, maybe try to find a different angle. And now on the way to Imperial Age is Mr. CL. Won't really get the greatest rates in here for sure. I'm not sure if he gets a single villager. No, especially that the Shoulder Warriors out, who does massive damage against those Eagle Warriors. But also is healing quite a bit. And in a 2v1 fight, took one down. That's reasonable. How does st4rk look with his 20 more villagers? Needs to sell quite a bit of wood and shouldn't really go for more shoulders. Really needs to get onto Imp. It built 6 shoulders in total. Now heavily using the market. Oh, that's actually CL for us. Building another castle. Oh, actually that's the first one. And that could be interesting. Oh, and I don't see those shoulders winning against all the monks. Oh, yeah, that's just horrible. And there are so many more monks as well. If the shoulders are actually sniping down those monks at the front row, but they aren't, and 4 converts here going down more and more. This will be super ugly for st4rk, who's now even going for Town Watch. He needs to get all the resources into getting Imperial Age. This could get tricky for him. CL? Surprisingly to me, actually switching into Longsword Man. I think he just should have went for Slingers here. Can we play Arena DM? Yes! Actually, the last DM 2v2 tournament, we had Arena as a map as well. We had some interesting games there, for sure. Actually, like, I think the most interesting war was Persian-Chinese. That was super nice. And obviously at the start, you're just pulling one onager and just trying to cut through all the time to get a good trade running. That was kind of annoying as well. And interesting at the same time. Scholz are such a weird unit. They tank nothing, but deal massive amount of damage. Military count 19 to 3. Another aggressive castle purely for the production of traps. Maybe soak some more damage. 2 swordsmen. I'm quite surprised. I believe, honestly, Slingers would have been the better choice. Maybe Thea wasn't thinking about that. Or maybe he feels champions are better against Arbalest maybe than Slingers. I don't really know. Because Castle of st4rk will go down, only repairing with 2 villagers. I believe that makes no sense at all. That's just a waste of stone. You're not really buying time. Yeah, that makes a little sense to me. Either repair with 12, 15 villagers, try to hold the castle, or you just let it die. But this was something in between that just costed him more stone. He's not saving the second castle by that either. Ay. And now Twin Swordsman pushing. And for more shoulders, that production speed is pretty damn sick. And now, yeah, well, he's not repairing that castle, just wants to finish conscription as well. How many castles does he have? Did 2 down to 1. Even squeezing in another shoulder out of that dying castle. Quite interesting. And let's see if he wants to take an engagement. TL, I like those houses in front of the traps. Wants to maybe put some blocks in against the incoming shoulders. building a house there in the front. Not 100% sure why he's doing that. And it feels like one castle is somewhat enough with conscription and the fast production upgrade. I forgot how it's called. Here's summon here's, and seems like he's doing fine. Pop 160 for him. CL still at 140 only. Is he converting the palisade gate? What the? No, okay, he converted Solo. That would have been so... I'm not even sure if that was possible. Oh, a lot of villagers now running around. We don't have any siege out of Stark though. So can he really engage under 3 castles? Don't really see that happening. And soon we will have the champion upgrade. Stark still not getting his elite Shodels either. Has +4/+4 pretty soon. And now the traps taking care of the last castle. I believe this is the time where Stark needs to engage or heavily repair his own castle. It seems like he's trying to go for both. Monks trying to convert in the back. Champions at the front. Upgrade will not finish it seems, but at the same time the castle of CL will finish. Trying to go back here is Mr. CL. The traps are now completely exposed. This feels like traps will go down, but most of the Shodels in exchange. Maybe time to go back for Stark, regroup, lick his wounds, but it seems like he's taking the fight for a bit too long if you ask me. Especially under all those castles, getting the converts and fighting against champions, this has to be it. Stark has no chance to continue this year and is tapping out a G to the G. And Stark's reaction, kind of underwhelming here. Wants to go for Shodels. And for a big boom, lost all his castles. Didn't really get into the creative phase of this game. No aggression there. Maybe Arbalest would have performed pretty well against that army here as well. Maybe Arbalest bombard cannon. I believe the opens have bombard cannons, right? Yes. Or Arbalest onagers. Could have been the better choice than the Shodels here in late game. But he invested heavily into castles to stay safe. It was a tough one, and yeah, we are seeing this series being at least a 1-1. Mission converts, actually against the Shodels. Pretty sweet stuff in those fights. Stark obviously having the better eco, except the gold. Time to take a look at the TIF draft again. Aha! And we are now out of Incas and out of Ethiopians. So very slow TIF, Mongols and Franks and Magyars still left for CL. The Archer TIFs, Britons, Camel Archer, Berbers still out, and Indians as well. I think Stark is a better civilization here. That's what I'm thinking. Pretty different for Stark. Maybe. Who's playing Kosaiyans? You will see. I believe one of them is called Kunji. Yeah. It should be a pretty one-sided series later in the DM games. Yeah, they got admin win against Tyrant Warlords, which obviously would have been the more interesting game. Yeah. Let's jump into game number 3 here, and oops, that's confusing. That's better. And now it's time to rack our brains. How should CL play this? He is having the Magyars and is facing the mighty Berbers. If he goes for Paladins, he is facing Camels. If he's going for CA, he is facing Camel Archers. I don't really know what I would advise Mr. CL here. Maybe a siege monk push and just pray. To 1 is a solid prediction and scores 1-1. That's 2. That's Mr. Dracon for you. Dark is the left one. Oh. It's almost like the Berbers are a strong civ. Almost. Well, they're good against a lot of CA-based and cavalry-based civilizations. Incredible defensive map here for Stark as well. Defensive berries, defensive gold, defensive stone, defensive gold, defensive stone. Everything. And could even, like, he could delete his TC, just rewall here and build his own a new base in the back. Think CL should trash. It's actually a good option, but he has 4 on wood, so that's not going to happen. Gold stone, gold stone. Yeah, I know it was stone gold. I even thought when I saw this if I wanted to say stone again and go to that. Berbers might not be the best arena at Civ, but they're definitely top 1. What? What? Going for the second berries now? Where are the deer? Inside as well. What a good map for Stark. His main gold, bit exposed, but stone is defensively as well. Well, Hans vs. Burberry don't really want to let it go to him, right? Kind of need to force the issue very early on. Maybe M&A forward. Maybe some scout into heavy castle age aggression or something. It is tough. Crimes for the week? I actually don't think that's true. I think crying, supernatural, and actually talking about your feelings is getting a lot of respect from me. So I like that you're sharing your story here. And that you don't shy away from your feelings. It is a beautiful move by you, honestly. Oh. Almost as beautiful as putting 6 villagers on wood with only 1 lumber camp. Cryings for the week. And oh, 8 minute 30 restarts? Not really. CL 5 4 on gold again. Well, Manu, I'm not sure why you're bringing up that story now. Thought we were just having fun and was all laughs and everyone was enjoying their time. Seems like you didn't. Seems like CL has practiced deer luring since game 1. Well, somewhat right. Good for your friend, buddy. He likes getting late. I won't judge. Cleared resources a bit better this time. Market and blacksmith. Where's the blacksmith coming? What is this villager doing? Okay. Need to queue up another villager and might. I think this time he doesn't need to buy food, but still has 4 on gold, so he probably will. And Stark will just play this camel archer action and CL. Well, staying with 4 on gold, this could be just your everyday boom. Everyday, average, normal guy. Stark loomed? Yes. He loomed in most games actually. So weird, right? One game he was just loom behind but didn't even loom. Okay, Stark's scared of some aggression over here. Oh, maybe he house scouted and saw the scout. Or like farm scouted this area. And now thinks that a rush is coming in. Interesting. How does Stark resources look? Okay, now upping without a single farm. Interesting. So we're just waiting for horse color and then really he will drop, I'd say, exactly 5 farms around this TC. Is 1 minute 15 seconds behind. Again, not the greatest start by him. But, well, he's going on to stone, so that makes sense. And horse colors come in, and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm a mastermind, guys. Sometimes I surprise myself. Sometimes I don't. Stable by Mr. CL wants to go for some scouts of the teams. Now scout 3 plus 4. 5 on gold, so expecting a monastery as well. And CL, I'm not 100% sure how well Scout Monk will perform against the camel archers here of Stark. And I'm wondering if Stark is building the castle first this time or add TCs first. I think I personally love to see the castle before adding the TCs this time. And some of the farms finished before horse color? No, I don't think so. Oh, 143. 145. Oh yeah, 2 farms. Oh, Nimano. Guys, do you think Nimano is taking good notes here? Nimano or Nima yes? I'd say Nima yes. Look at that, 140 food for those and 220 food for those. So, yeah, Nimano. That's why you are here. That's why you're the mod of this channel, tournament admin, and an overall average normal guy. Haven't heard that song in quite some time. Stark still wants to stay active, maybe snipe a monk or something. Other villagers, and now the Didding giving himself a chance to retreat a bit and going on to camel archers. Nimano is a better player than Stark, obviously, at least when it comes to farming. Fake mod but pro farmer. Ay. Let's see, number 3 on the way for CL. Villager count dead even at the moment. TC number 3 on the way as well. So it feels like no boom advantage by anyone. And then the question is, who is going for the better army competition? Magyars, Scout, Monk, or Berber Camel Archers? I know my money surely is on Mr. Stark. And CL's map is so open as well. So I would be surprised if he holds all his relics till the end of the game as well. He's still controlling quite a bit and seems like Stark has no interest in picking up those relics. Beginning to go for more camel archers. Will snipe at least one scout now. Oh, actually, is he? Not a lot of damage. And Monks maybe getting some converts in. Oh, that's just horrible for st4rk. Can he get some kills? Gets one against him. Actually, oh, both were converting the same camel. And oh god, that was a horrible movement here. And yeah, went in with 5. Came back with 2 and now his enemy has 1. Well, did snipe 2 Monks, but still, this wasn't the greatest thing for him ever. Maybe denies that monk at the same time. That would somewhat put him back. But, well, monk out, somewhat pushed down again. Not getting those 2 relics might hurt a bit as well for CL. Especially because that was one of his main plans here. We didn't see slabs being picked either. Completely didn't think about that. A civilization that we'd seen being picked quite early on by a lot of other players, such as the brothers, for example. 5 villagers ahead is Mr. st4rk here. Something we have seen from time to time, that CL is getting wheelbarrow in handcart earlier than st4rk, who always pulls ahead in numbers. If we see even against even TC count. Oh, the brothers. Meme players. They're seriously meme players. Oh man. They're CA. Isn't that great? So only 3 TCs for both players. Nothing too special going on at the moment. Oh, an aggressive siege workshop now. st4rk wheelbarrow timing at the same time with the handcart timing for CL. So he actually could have a bit of a better eco if you ask me. Bloodline for CL. Well, that makes very little sense to me. Doesn't want to engage anyways. Question is, if Bloodline finishes, will the Camel Archer get plus 20 HP as well? I don't think so. I think there are some weird scenarios where something like this happens, right? Oh, no idea. And feels like, oh, some villagers here at the front. Maybe get Botkin arrow and maybe build 2 patterns. Could be an option. Same time, actually, he should know that this relic is in the range of interest of CL. Maybe being active over here wouldn't be too bad. Is he actually building houses or not? Well, with 1, but people will get housed quite soon again. Where's the TIF advantage here? Berbers. And quite a significant one. Nepotism. Never heard of that before. I think 2 patterns would be so much better than trying to go with the ram attack here now. And for Loom, let's take a look. Is he trying to get damage done against the ram? Feels like it, but he will just eat so many arrows. And just siege workshop now. And well, he just stays with his composition at this seems. Obviously the big problem, if you go for some patterns, you will not have your camel archer production at the same time. I think the more important thing would be getting in and having 2 more. But that's just me. Can you put camel archers in the siege tower? Oh! Getting all 5 relics.
Yes.
And yeah, They paused and CL said, I will put it out. Okay, so what happened here? We have the win condition, as we can clearly see, which kind of means standard victory. So if the timer goes down and the 5 relics are still in any of the monasteries, that means he would win, but that's not the condition that we're playing in this tournament. That's just a small mistake by them. And the win condition should actually be meaning conquest. We need to delete all buildings and all units of the enemy. But yeah, so they kind of agreed that CL will put the relic out over and over again, so that countdown will never go down to 200 years. You should go for wonder victory as well. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think they should kind of save 5 years before. So if he forgets, they can restore. That would be pretty funny. st4rk going for the +1 defense, so is he going for camels? It's a bit like it. I think he should go for bloodlines first. Imp timing pretty close for both players. Let's take a look onwards. Well, 1 for now. Now the Mangonel completely missing here. Oh, that's poor engagement by st4rk. Not getting a lot of damage done. Having some losses on his own. It was pretty well done by CL. Seems like a second castle is actually getting built. No? Oh yeah, very defensively. And more stables as we said before, so the switch into camels is a real bracer for st4rk. And CL just staying on to mass knights. This should not work. Heavy camel upgrade is coming. The production for st4rk should start pretty soon as well. And well, one good sign for CL is that he sees this guy still doesn't have bloodlines. Maybe he's staying on camel archers since he doesn't have a stable yet. But actually, it's just fake news. And the camel switch is coming pretty soon. Would love to see some raids over here. Those villagers just to get some guaranteed damage done. CL sneaking some villagers around. That's not too sneaky though. And preparing the ram push, maybe with some traps together. st4rk's map still so beautiful here in the back. Kinda love that situation that he is in. Knowing exactly what his enemy is going for. The enemy cannot really push at the moment. And you can just go for the perfect counter units, which are even cheaper for your civilization. Well, losing a camel archer here and there doesn't really help, but not the biggest of differences. Some gold over here at the left hand side, beautifully controlled now by CL. Would win this game in 120 years if it was a standard victory. But then probably st4rk would play this whole game differently as well. Paladin upgrade even for CL. His eco seems to be quite solid. 88 villagers, but not a lot of losses. Handcards really helping out. The 5 relics as well. Quite a solid food eco. And that's not a lot of camels here. Take a look at that. Will be an interesting fight for sure. And st4rk, he sees still mass amount out here. It's getting scary for st4rk. And he isn't producing as he should. Oh, 100 years left. It's getting scary. You will lose if the relics are not reclaimed in 100 years. yeah, responsibility of the settings is into both players' hands. If you would always fault the host, no one would host anymore, because it's a negative free roll for you. That you can be blamed for something and the other cannot. So both are absolutely responsible for it. What is Stark doing? Now sees Mass Paladin. Stark, is he trying to take this engagement? Just waiting for the +4. We'll have a reasonable timing with that as well, I believe. And CL. He cannot really be happy with his army composition against the army composition of Stark here. Maybe some onagers could do something, but I don't really think that will help. Maybe add in some halberdiers as well. That really the thing you want to go for? You already have the +4 attack, so that's a sweet thing for you. Yeah, maybe CL just should wait for the relics and then said like, unfortunate, I didn't take my hotkey clicks or something. And then just say, okay, then we have to replay it because it was an open game. And then he just go for the maddest tower rush of all times. I'm going for heavy scorpions as an addition. So I've never seen that before. Magyar, heavy scorpion. Relic. Oh.
Yes.
Relic was lost. Control of the relic was lost. And now go back in. It's actually blocking one pop of TL now as well. Uh-oh, all relics have been captured. You will lose if they are held for 200 years. I think I would have waited so long if I was CL. Just like 10 years. So that Stark got really nervous. Okay, let's take a look. Maybe this is the big engagement that will finish this game. Paladins not having the greatest fighting engagement. Monks not getting the converts in. They're just running over. I don't see too many Scorpions doing massive amount of damage here. The Rams completely either trapped in the back doing some damage. And this could be the one fight that instantly ends this game. What a weird story this game has been telling here. We saw basically only one engagement in this whole game. And that's just the beauty of the Berbers being so efficient against the Magyars here and losing all his Rams. Suddenly population is 170 against 120 and CL in a world of trouble. Chem Archers not even elite here. Also defense for Stark now on those Chem Archers. Actually an army that just sits behind in the back. Paladins in 2018. Well, kind of true. Raiding that gold over here at the side. Yeah, somewhat controlling the right hand side. Still not getting his other gold either. Maybe halberdiers would have been the better option than those scorpions. Now needs harp plus ram against that army composition. Probably he's now taking pikemen. But it's also elite camel archers now. And a lot of traps. And he wants to take care of that monastery on his own now. Could actually delete his wall to kill the traps? Not really getting punished? Oh god, that was too much and the wrong walls if you ask me. And the paladins just trying to focus down the traps, but heavy losses. Pop limit against pop 120. Military count is 70 to 25. Yeah, he got 3 traps. And yeah, Stark is somehow weirdly patrolling back here. But CL simply has no chance in this. This was a pure Civ win. And CL playing this so uncreative, not realizing how bad the infights would go for him. Not happy, absolutely not happy how Mr. CL played this one here. So in the end, we have the 2-1 for Mr. Stark. After a clear Civ win, CL, he had the option to go for Monk Rush, he could go for Towers. maybe some castle age aggression with the siege and monks, but just go for paladins against a guy that has cheaper camels. Not really a thing. Yeah, played for standard victory. Maybe he did that. KD in the end, brutally in favor of Mr. Stark. Ezekiel was better in every regard. Not that much, but goal is super close even. Him timing was pretty close as well, and Stark just played it super safe, super smart, and Raccoon was asked, what is the big strength of Stark? And Dracon says, the patience. And that's what we saw in this game. Who won the last fight, please? Well, seems like Stark, right? Why didn't CL add skirms to support? Well, skirms aren't a real unit. Did MAM drop? Okay, let's take a look at the upcoming Civ picks. So we are now out of Magyars and we are out of Berbers. Feels like Mongols and Franks both have no chance against Indians. And Britons are pretty damn strong as well. It just feels like Stark has way better civilizations all around here. Yeah. Imperial Camels, remember we're still playing with 5.6, so Camels are so much stronger than they are now at 5.7. So Franks, even if he goes for Halberdiers against Imperial Camels, that's not really a thing. Mongols has no answer at all to Imperial Camels. And Britons just Longbowmen FI. Feels like a 4-1 for Stark, especially because Cielo is playing so one-dimensional. I want to see something out of the ordinary in the next games. Otherwise, this could get pretty unfortunate for him. Okay. Man is back live, guys, so push. Go over to him again. Man is back. Frank full castle push versus Indians? Well, that's somewhat what he has to do if he plays Franks against Indians, yeah. It was nice to see you, bye. I'm staying here. Okay, you insist. Okay, Mem got them back as well. He was joining the game and couldn't really spec. Tell me what to do. I stay here now. Okay, then don't sub with the tier 3 sub. I absolutely don't want any subs, especially no tier 3 subs. And Mem down again. Luckily the game didn't start. I'm watching both. Great stuff. You're the unsung hero of Age of Empires. Opening all the streams, not having ad block, and just refreshing every time in between streams. And looting as well. Always watch all the streams. Sweet stuff. What units should CL have used instead of Paladins? Well, either Halberdians How about your ram push or some siege monk aggression in Castle Age? No siege ram though. Well, then I need to finish that game before. Well, Dracont, give me an answer. I believe Magyar are just super bad against Bobers. It just is a heavy matchup win. I think Tower Rush could have been a good option as well. Just try to throw him off. But I believe just putting it into an unrated late game, not forcing his enemy into arrows, and then just goes Paladins against Sheep Camels. That's not how it works. Hooker plant, thanks so much. You earn money every time I watch an ad? I think I do, but I have no idea how much or what. I'm not checking that. But I think technically I should, yeah. Yeah, pretty sure. Okay guys, then let's jump into game number 4 here. We have CL playing the Franks, and he is in a pickle against the Brits. Could have been worse against Indians if you ask me, and we will see how he is playing this out. So far we have seen that he took his boars always quite early, after 1 or 2 sheep even. He's scouting his boars this time as well. Yeah, he is quite early on, so that could be an option. And overlay. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's a prank. That's a prank. I just wanted to see you. What is were coming up? Want to see you, show you my face, and yeah, could have seen the axes as well. I cannot deal with the pressure of all the Mempiors. I need to perform so well. Only quality casting here, and always the right overlays. If you want to see that, don't ever come back to this channel. I like the axes. Well, I don't like my axe. Stabilized. But he probably just says shut off anyways, right? Oh, Plaskus didn't want to take care of that. Getting board number 2. 4 on wood, so no tower rush again. Pierce not taking care of Stark this far, and well, what strategies will we see? Deleting quite a bit of his walls here in the back. 2 defensive stone spots. Gold actually pretty open all to the left hand side, but that means if he gets 1 defensive cast up, he is somewhat safe. I think he should go for something like Longbowman, Fast Imperial 8, stylish. I'm in that direction. Why Franks? Well, Franks are reasonably good against Mongrels, since you have more HP on your scout, you have the better farm eco, you can push better with those cheaper casters as well. And Axemen are actually pretty good against all infantry. So that was maybe his reasoning. But remember, it wasn't a free pick, it was the captain's mode, and he was kind of forced to pick them at one point. All about those fast berries, indeed. And if he goes ballsy to the left hand side, he can get a second bush there as well. Probably something he won't do. Rank Scout more HP? Yes, indeed. Compare that, we can see 45 for Mr. Stark and 54 for CL. I think he survived another hit of a spearman there. I think CL needs to play something aggressively here. Cannot sit back again. If he goes for paladins, he will just run into mass halberdiers and longbowmen again. If he tries to get all relics, Stark will just outboom him, and especially with Brit booms, which is so incredibly strong, will just get tougher and tougher for him. Ay ay ay. Now pushing some more deer towards his TC. 5 on berries. Stark should play this quite reasonably well. I like his house walls already. Actually, think they aren't too important because his goal is so open that he kind of needs to defend the front area anyways. So that's something we will probably not see being too important. But I liked it in the other games where it actually made a lot of sense to neglect some pushes, especially the Turk against Spanish War. Really beautiful walls there by him for sure. And CL is up again, pop 26. Stark is playing this with a bit of a higher population, and this time without Loom, so maybe a bit of a better start for a change. Now sending 2 villagers on gold. Actually, oh, that deer is running back, needs to shoot it once. And then it loses his aggro. And 3 on stone again. We're playing it a bit risky, if you ask me this time. And well, we'll have the defensive castle is sending 3 on gold, so that will be all solid. But I'm not sure if he will have enough wood to get all the buildings up and enough food to click here, especially because his doubt pushed aren't really helping him with that issue. On the other side, CL 2 on gold only. This looks like, oh, well, at least stables. A stable will be added here. But with only 1 villager. He needs to pull the second one. Oh, could have some idle TC here. Running villager over, probably building the stable here now. And indeed. And somewhere the blacksmith. Expecting it like here. Is he struggling with wood? Not really. Could build it. Am I confused? Oh, okay. Late barracks. So he's again building 3 villagers. That's something you don't really want to do. You always want to go for 2 villagers and maybe build that villager in the Dark Age instead. So not the most crisp builds here for sure by both players, we have to say. Now trying to rush out this barracks. It seems like gold will be fine and food will be fine as well. So the build up is kind of shaky because you need to build with 4 villagers, but can click up any second. Some small losses there with the uptime and actually only 1 second difference. So a bit of a screw up by both players, but still all reasonable. Did forget to send a 5th villager onto stone. So this will be a bit later. Maybe to send those 3 a bit earlier because he already has 550 in the bank. Pretty sweet stuff by him. What will we see out of CL? For now, 4 on gold and a stable. That means Scout Monastery again. Not sure if that is the greatest thing he can go for. Again, will not apply a lot of pressure. Again, will give him relics, but won't give him the boom advantage. It will be Stark being super safe, and I don't think that this is a winning strategy. And CL is playing it so one-dimensional over and over again, and I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record, repeating the same stuff, but I'm just disappointed. We are in the semi-finals of the biggest 1-1 tournament going on at the moment. This is arena only. You can be so creative. You can play so many different strategies and come up with so many different civilizations and CL needs to go scouts, knights, mangonels, forward castle, knights, knights, knights. Well, that's not what he will be doing. I believe he will go scouts, monks, boom, 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 die, die, die. That's at least my prediction. I feel the castle is even a bit out of position. Would have loved to have it 2 tiles further in the back to protect the gold spots a bit better. Maybe he wanted more control over that gate as well. The creative guys all got eliminated. Well, it's still Tato in, it's still Winchester in. So, we better take that back. Now going for a big Bordeco here, adding a lot more farms. I think I would have loved to see him add a 30C before that amount of farms, but well, we'll add the 30C over at the gold pretty soon, whenever he gets the remaining 40 gold stone. Actually building an outpost somewhere. Ah, interesting. And that's why I said I wanted the castle a bit more defensive, because he's kind of fearing an attack over here, but... Uh-oh, is he letting those scouts in? I'm not 100% sure if I like that, and yes he is. He's saving his scout. He's actually building some long momentum. He does not have loom. Oh, now going for some quick walls here. Let's take a look in the 3rd house. Well, it's getting some damage done. Remember guys, Stark actually has loom. Well, then he doesn't need to go that crazy with all his walls here. Yeah, those 2 scouts have some more HP, but if you have mass amount of villagers here, you can somewhat fight this back. Healing his scout. Oh, actually not healing his scout. Well, that's a mistake. And not sending all his longbow to the defense here is somewhat of a mistake as well. Pulling off those villagers of stone. Next TC is coming up actually at the woodline. Would have loved to see it at the gold, but actually he doesn't need more villagers than 6 on gold if he's just producing out of 1 castle here for his longbow production. At the same time, exactly what we predicted is happening. CL is getting the control over the relics again. We'll have all 5 relics again. Let's take the 3. Now it's Conquest Victory. So, I have no idea if it's Conquest or whatnot. And trying to get that longbow man didn't really work out. Just being annoying, trying to scout, trying to deny some, maybe catch off a herd villager, but all the herd villagers are around the TC here. 7 HP on that one, and 19, so not even a 1-hit villager in there as well. Well, he is on the matrix as it seems. Watching so many shots here, and Stark trying to chase this down, but well, not really happening. Oh, and we have up 3rd kill, and soon we'll go for the 4th kill. 6 villagers ahead is CL, but what will he go for then? Will it be paladins? Will it be X-Men? I don't really know, but I feel the answer should be there for Stark, who has lots more of military. CL has better boom and will even have more relics. Well! And now is going for some knights, which should slow him down a bit, but I think that's a reasonable reaction to the threat of Longbowman. But Stark has proven to not go for patterns too often. Staying on in 3 TCs himself against the... Oh, it seems like soon to be 4 TCs here of CL. Oh, let's take a look. Can the hippo? No. Okay, let's not show this. Nice walls. Still 2 holes though. But in general, zoning out quite a bit of push potential. And going indeed for TC number 4. So that will be a heavy eco. Fletching now out. And I really want to see patterns. Why is he not trying to force the issue here? Could do some damage also here against the Mangonaut. Could have 8 range against 7 range, and put a lot of pressure onto CL, would force him heavily into some knights. Knows that CL still doesn't have the +1 defense, so some action could be around for him if he decided to go for it. For now, he could just snipe that scout. CL very active so far. I like how he's dodging those. And one pattered, want to see number 2. And he's coming indeed. CL, no idea of that. Trying to go for the kill here. And indeed, 6 HP and is getting home again. CL, just super active, but oh! And I say that he's done. Got a number 2 in the house. And let's take a look. Mangonel out. What can st4rk see? Can he see the Mangonel? He needs to take a good vision of all this area. Is going for the +2 attack. At the same time, the knights are getting +2 defense. Villager count now evening it out. Let's switch into the stables here. Oh, I can see 3 stables. We have 4 knights out. 3 are getting added to Mangonels. What can they do? Maybe get the ground attacks in? Not really. And oh god, getting the kills here. Trying to get the gate up. And Mangonel number 1 is down. Now the knights are coming out. They still don't have the +2 upgrade. Scout is actually going for the Mangonel. Not 100% sure if that's too efficient. And now trying to micro. He obviously doesn't have ballistics yet. +1 defense armor. And he's just trying to micro. Or is he just running the whole way home? Interesting. So no micro out of him. Maybe Brazil against China. Something he feels he cannot micro against. NCL with his better eco early on is now on the way to impilate. st4rk only 300. Wait, I'm on the wrong guy. st4rk is actually looking at 400 food, 700 gold. Did just finish hand card. And then goes into the longbowman. CL sending villagers forward. Will have a castle out with traps earlier again. Now going for more barracks is st4rk. I don't want to see him add any pikemen upgrades or add any spearmen actually before he clicked up to him, because maybe CL with his very calm boom there and waited for his knights has now the advantage. 5th relic not picked up by CL just yet. Did he have vision of it? Yes, he did. For now, the push is the most important thing. The longbowman maybe trying to get some snipes in, but maybe deny that a bit. Sniping 1 villager, sniping maybe another knight. And that's what I wanted to see early on as well. Just try to do some guaranteed damage there by going back, doing the hit and run stuffy. Oh god, and eating a big Mangonel shot. Look at that amount of HP lost. Still trying to stay active, but now he needs to go back and yeah, simply heal all his longbowmen. I don't like... Oh god, and he is... Okay, he's up to Imperial Age. I completely missed that. 40%, and now going heavily onto Halberdiers. Just need to set this back, defend a bit, going onto the stone a bit more now. He sees, okay, my enemy is onto Imperial Age, but if I just go for heavy Halberdiers, that can maybe do the damage. Unless obviously CL is mixing in some Axemen, which would be great against the Halberdiers, like as we mentioned before. Then the longbowman needs to survive. At the moment, no production out of st4rk. Actually going into Arson. It's an upgrade that isn't really that useful for now. Trying to wall the right hand side a bit more. Does not want to get any weird surprises anywhere, as it seems. So that's the reason why he's walling this quite nicely. Didn't want to get any 2 patterns coming in, cavaliers running into his base. Only wants to control the fights at the front. Now trying to repair against 1 trap with 6 villagers. Kind of makes sense. And has enough villagers on stone as well, but that means second castle will be off for quite some time. Maybe he instantly builds a counter trap. Yes, he is. CL at the same time adding hand cannoneers. Interesting. So hand cannoneer cavaliers actually saving some resources, so maybe even paladin upgrade pretty soon. Going for the +2 defense. Oh, I like that addition. CL needs to get in, and at the moment, that's something he's not doing. Maybe is another siege workshop and get some cannon, combat cannons out to snipe those traps. Could be a good option. For now, going for hand cannoneers himself, though. Werewolf upgrade for Stark, and that's actually so good in that spot that he does damage against all those then. That's so good, and if Stark is holding that castle and the Werewolf upgrade is actually getting the damage done, that's so evil. Look at that, okay, now the upgrade finishes. And look at that, how he's doing splash damage there, it's so sick. Stark is getting masonry. CL heavily trying to get into the repairs here as well. Repairing against 3 traps, obviously super tough for Stark. He's just praying to hold this out. And the 1 trap is going down. Maybe he has a chance now. Against 2 traps is something that you can repair. And he's actually increasing his HP. But 3rd trap is now out again. Is he getting a 2nd trap out? Oh god. This is pretty close. If this castle falls, Stark is kind of winnable. But if he holds this, this is a big win. Another villager going down. Castle at 300 HP. And those 2 shots, I believe the castle will fall with that shot. And indeed it will. Architecture not in time. But Stark did buy himself quite some of that. Halberdiers, +2, +4. Let's take a look at the stone amount of Stark. Well, he completely repaired himself down to the bottom. So he's getting some stone, so we'll get another castle up eventually. But for now, heavily onto Halberdiers, and they won't perform too well against all those hand cannoneers. Feels like Stark has a good shot in this game. Stark going somewhat aggressive, somewhat around. I'm not 100% sure what his plan is. I mean, bombard cannon first. Well, that's a good plan. But not finishing that. And yeah, he had his gate locked here. That's why the units ran so weirdly. And yeah, look at that. Getting the paladin upgrade. He has had +2, +4. Is getting +4, +4. His hand cannon is only 1 upgrade away as well from being completely upgraded. Stark getting fortified wall. Wants to buy more time. It's funny how he is the one trying to buy more time. Although he is 5 against 0 relics. No control over his gold spot number 2 and 3. He's just trying to get maxed out here. Going for crossbowman now. So Arbeless tag for our bit player. Not able to tag onto longbowman. Getting more and more stone walls up. He's playing this super patiently. Is doing all the right steps to force the long game. But is the super long game really what he wants to go for? Probably like the super long game. But still 5 against 0 relics. CL. And I believe this could be his game that gives him the chance to start his kind of comeback. It is still very close, serious, we have to say. Harvey is dying now. KD actually pretty even at the moment. I don't think that will stay like that for too long. Paladin upgrade finished. And those gates are dying pretty soon as well. Now completely out of his main gold spot, therefore his other gold spot is raided, and I believe that is a reasonable hitting squad here against those villagers. And Halberdiers not around to protect the villagers, just tickling those paladins with some longbowman. And now Golden Come completely shut down to 0. Going for chemistry himself. What is Stark really up to? Arbalest in the back. But Golden Come, as we mentioned several times now, completely down to 0. At the moment, CL is the guy who could camp, but he is pop 195 out of 195. He feels like he has a timing to push now. He's controlling all the goals, but he's just waiting to get in and attack. Paladins are ready. At the same time, Stark wants to go back behind his walls, as it seems. Halberdiers, are they maybe trying to take the engagement here? But so many hand cannoneers hitting their shots off as well. This looked like maybe CL can take this engagement pretty well. Traps are now moving forward as well. Hand cannoneers doing an enormous job. Longbowmen still not participating in this fight, just going back, trying to save their lives, while the Halberdiers are trying to buy the time. But most of the barracks are now on the outside, so they will die pretty soon as well. Arbelest now from the back doing some damage, but so many traps out, they can easily break those walls. Halberdiers are getting clues out of 4 barracks here. Archery range amount is somewhat reasonable. Now you love that those houses are built in the back so that he can build more archery ranges and the barracks here. This wall is broken. Halberdiers now trying to take another engagement. Obviously when it comes to gold efficiency, this fight is heavily in favor for st4rk over and over again. Can he get those walls up? No, he cannot. But those paladins, I believe he really wants to take a fight, not trying to take some villager raids here, because now, well, all the hand cannoneers are somewhat exposed, and the hand cannoneers, they wouldn't perform too well against the arbalests and longbows. So halberdiers can now just clear up the back. Yeah, st4rk will easily drop to pop 150 here, but he's killing off a lot of the paladins at the same time, but not enough at the front. And now maybe some halberdiers should have been left behind here at the front. st4rk needs to heavily retreat. He is dropping down indeed below pop 150. But as I said before, he will clear up all those paladins. He's buying himself quite a lot of time, but those 4 traps are still doing massive amount of damage. I can absolutely see st4rk really struggling to hold this on. He actually has a nice amount of gold now without sneaking out. And the paladins even will get out alive. The traps should be rerouted and finish more and more of the buildings. Pop 120 here for st4rk. He is just running behind those paladins. He is playing cat and mouse with him. Look at that, sniping all the villagers over here. Look at that bloodbath, all the villagers at the wood line, killing more on the right hand side. Now the raid at the left hand side is denied for now. Nice walls here to intercept that area, but it still is not really a possible hold here. Pop 180 against pop 100. Yeah. Selling wood and food as well, so the prices won't be too great for st4rk. Trying to get defensive traps now out. He still has Warwolf, but that's not a lot of halberdiers. Yeah, he is fighting this cost efficiently, but they will all die, and with them the dream of winning this game for Mr. st4rk. GG is coming any second. Traps are going down. GG, well played even. Congratulating CL on a very patient play here. Did go for the big boom in the back, then the walls, did go for some manual defense. The knights, perfect timing, exactly when st4rk was pushing in, did secure all the relics, then 3 stables, knights +2 defense. st4rk not going for the hit and run, completely lost his aggression, was behind an eco. CL early in castle, did trap down the castle, and from there he was in a beautiful spot. Added hand cannoneers quite nicely to deal with the halberdiers and just ran over st4rk. What a good game by CL, and this is pushing us into game number 5. Doesn't even score. KD, ay. That's pretty brutal. I think the scouts in was awful. Yeah, that was pretty dumb as well. Or like not clearing them up early enough. Honestly, like 2 scouts, you lose a villager. That happens. Ay. Pretty solid gold amount here as well. But the real story is really the KD here. I believe map is back, by the way. If you want to go to your beloved map again, that is absolutely the option. Take a look at the TIFF pick. You all know that overlay from the start of the game. So we're now out of Franks and out of Britons. So game number 5 will be Indians against Mongols. I think this should be a pretty clear one for Indians. Better boom, probably better in transition, tough to kill in castle. I see st4rk as a favorite here. What happens after game 5? Game 6! Game 6 is a choice out of Ethiopians, Indians, Incas, and Game 7 will be Mirror. Malta has no harps to kill him camels. That's one big problem indeed. 6 comes after 5, PogChamp! Why is Game 6 Indians, Ethiopians or Incas? Well, that's how the tournament admins decided on it. Oh, we want God War. God War is actually super interesting. You gotta push early before him, camels. Agree to that. Time for towers. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't a tower rush out of CL? Now to mix it up. Be one of the greatest things. We have some harassment already here with some shenanigans with the scouts. We're jumping into this game a bit earlier than usual. And st4rk actually lost some HP at the start. What's his plan here? Not going back into his base. Is he trying to scout some more? And then go back in his base? Quadruple sheep. This feels like st4rk is trying to force another restart. Now going for loom again. Well, this has to be a restart by st4rk. How many restarts do we have? 2? I believe it has to be 2 in the best of 7, right? He's trying to force CL to restart. Okay, now he is the one with the same amount of HP. And trying to go for the lame against the deer now. CL saved his villagers. CL is staying calm. But now less HP for him. And st4rk is calling the restart. Okay, okay. Okay. Whew. Guys, time to calm down again. So, second restart now used for st4rk. Seems like the discussion, how many restarts do you have? Didn't you use one before? Should have even 10 for admin screwing over me. In best of 7, each player is awarded 2 restarts each. Okay. Why he restart? Because he didn't have a great start. Yeah. He needed to loom early on. He lost HP on his scout. Didn't kill his enemy scouts. Then went for this crazy aggression. Your map is better. Well, depends on what channel you're asking. If you're asking here, you get an obvious answer. If you ask over at MEMS, you get an obvious answer as well. If you ask over at Ruby Official, you don't get any answers anymore because no one is there. This is a music sim. You're an awesome composer. Thank you so much. Took me a lot of work. I played every instrument myself and composed it myself as well. This song took me like 2008, 6.5 years to compose. So pretty happy with the result. Thank you so much for appreciating all my work. And I also designed this. Wrong overlay again. I also designed this game that isn't going to be too well. It just went for instant lame and didn't take good care of anything else. What was the other plan here? Okay, well, he actually had defensive gold, pretty well, defensive stone. And it was a pretty bad map for St4rk, very open here. Okay. Continue with my music work, I would say. Or maybe we'll play one of my other works. I like that one as well. One of my newer ones. My remastered ones, I would say. The con is still in this tournament, can't believe it. I have no idea how this happened either. Maybe he's a good player. Would be weird, right? Nilly van Beethoven. Ask me to shoot, I would pick Nilly, since Mem has kids. Well, I have like 20 kids in my class. Does that not count for anything? Why he read with 3 back goals? Well, it was at 120, so he didn't know that he had 3 back goals, as it seems. Will the Fisher's dead? That's a lot of reasons. And we will talk about them one day on Talk of the Empire for sure. But that will be in the far future. But yeah, a lot of people will speculate about it and will trash talk. So you will get a lot of answers, maybe not all the right ones. But what is right is that game number 5 is rolling and CL is still having 1 restart in this one. Is playing the Mongols and trying to lame again, going aggressively quite early on. And again, very early with her spores. Uh-oh, and that could be a nice pushing spot here for CL. He sees all that gold. Probably cannot really scout that though. She's the deer, and that will be interesting for St4rk to defend. Maybe some aggression of CL. Personally would love if he squeezes in something like crossbowman siege tower aggression. That would be pretty fun as well. I think that could be a great addition and in his arsenal of strategies. A lot of people don't know T90 started on Ruby Official. Well, didn't close to everyone start on Ruby Official. I did, Mem did, Kitsune did. Killer B, nobody 41. T90. Robo. Oh. All the great casters you know in this Age of Empires universe. And Robo. Probably started on Ruby Official. Kitsune didn't leave, no. But I think he's streaming more on his channel now than on others. Okay, last 5 seconds to call a restart. Seems like he's not going for it. No. What is this tournament? Masters of Arena 5. 64 of the greatest player of the world battling it out. Started with Stonewalls, creating long entertainment games where you can see all the tech trees revealed. We are in the winner bracket semi-finals, where CL and Stark are battling it out in a best of 7. Score is 2-2. Something like that. That's how I would compose the trailer. Yeah, it's a tournament where we only play Arena, and they had a different civ pick system. And now we have Indians against Mongols. And do we see TLC today? Yes! 2 games. Viper and Tato will win 4-0 against 2 Hungarian claps. And later on we have the highlight Spaden and Mentalist going against Quenty-B, hoping for an upset there. WWE announcer. Oh god, I would love to do that one day. Oh, this is even harder, right? Like, we have to zoom out and in the right hand side corner, it is the masturbator, the deleter of walls, the builder of walls in Arabia. It is the craziest guy. Sometimes he has very long names and sometimes he only goes with 2 letters. It is in the blue trunks. Something like that. I should have included his finishing move, right? As well. What is CL's finishing move? The Destroyer of Halberdiers. Something like that. What weight class? Ah! That's true, I forgot weight class. Weighing in 135 pounds, fighting with the reach disadvantage of 2 inches because his keyboard is a bit shorter to his body than the ones for Stark. Oh god, I messed that up. Fighting out of Chaofeng, China. I will prepare that. One day I will prepare that. And I absolutely love Bruce Buffer at not WWE, UFC. I'm always like before the main event, I'm even getting out of my couch and sitting there, like not sitting there anymore if I'm getting up obviously, and jump with him. This is the main event people around have been waiting for. And no wait, we are live. That was it says at the start of the event, and when is he jumping? I can't remember. Country and city. Yeah. Well, cheap knockoff of Michael Buffer. They are brothers, right? I like Bruce Buffer more. I actually met him once. I'm a big Bruce Buffer fan, and we were queuing up in the Rio Casino in Las Vegas. And we're both cashing out chips, and I wanted to like tell my story of, yeah, I love you so much and I'm jumping around when you do your introduction, but I felt like he was in such a bad mood and didn't want to talk to Jumpy, weird German guy, that I just said hi, he nodded, and we left it to that. So meeting is over exaggerating, but I was 20 centimeters away from him. And he nodded. Let's just be sure and get in the fifth too. By the reason he lost all his money? No, I wasn't at it as his table. I was quite surprised to stand next to him. Yeah. Seems like he's playing scouts, monks again. Stark, maybe as well. He's playing it with one more villager. Maybe could have taken him out of the bad mood. Well, maybe I was just a bit too nervous as well. Hey, what's going on? Hey, nothing. It depends, like, what is your question? Like, do we want to know what game this is, what tournament this is, why this is paused, what the strategies are? Like, what's going on is such a complex question, offering so many different answers. Tough to answer this. Yeah. 20 centimeters distance is not a problem when you have 25 centimeter tool. Yeah, that's a problem with my tool, that I could only have a long distance relationship with my girlfriend. If you know what I mean. How do you feel about CL going up 25+2 and buying food every game? Well, he is rarely going up 25+2. He's more like 25+3, or once he was even 25+4. Now I'm really leaving. Karak? The typical Dracon move. I'm really leaving and then denying the pyramids. That's like MBL saying he's quitting Age Empires. Or Dracon saying he's quitting Age Empires. Or any Polish guy saying he's quitting Age Empires. Or anyone saying he's quitting Age Empires. Sinken in the house.
Resident Sleeper.
Like, I've never used that emote before then. Okay, light cap upgrade for CL. Interesting. Did he sneak a villager somewhere? No, not really. Now monastery being rushed out with 3 villagers. And no resources, so that will be some aggression after all. Start going for some more scouts as well here. And now let's take a look. Having quite a reasonable engagement here. Stark running around, and not sure if he wants to get those light cav in. Oh god, that could be a big mistake. Stark has loom this time again, but honestly, he doesn't have a monastery. That's a huge fail by Stark. Okay, and those CL, they will just play cat and mouse. 8 HP on them. On this one. Okay, he has a market. Okay, then stable. Then it's not that bad. He can build. Yeah, he obviously has a stable because he built scouts. But still, losing 1 villager there, kind of unnecessary. And his enemy's getting the full scout off. Question is, what is CL going for now? Oh, 1 extra TC, stays active, maybe snipes 1 villager. I think that's the best thing he can do now. Just focus on 1 villager and get the kill, then run out. Oh, not bad. Dark actually went for light cap as well. Maybe could have split them up as well. Beautiful map control. Did you find any low HP villagers? Doesn't look like it. 16 HP, 28 HP, rest looks pretty healthy. And, well, this won't do much. .30C for CL around. Where do I hear converts? Okay, getting a spearman here. Out of the light cav. Oh, and could maybe get that relic. He has very little mongoose, so I'm not sure if he really wants to move out here. Has no protection at the moment. Oh, and is running away from the camel. That has obviously very little vision. Was dropping the relic. Trying to convert, then realized, damn, I have no monk, so is running back. Now another monk trying to help out. 2 hits of a light cap are enough to kill a monk though, so that's pretty ugly for him. Doesn't really want to deal any more damage to his soon-to-be own light cap. Now runs back into his home base and does some ring around Rosie down here as well. Another monk around. Guys, can you do the grassed out pyramid as a teamwork? 3 layers? Oh no, Hell Rider. That's bad, man. Three TCs for Mr. Stark here. Just healing his light cap and monks as well. Is he? Okay, no, he's not. Did he delete that? No. Okay. Even amount of villagers. Relics seem to be somewhat even as well. Well, oh, that was a nice hit. Killing 2 monks and maybe getting out with both light cap. Or with 1 light cap. That's still a solid one. Sometimes we get tired of denying pyramids. That's my strat. Okay, that's a way to go. Going for raid number 2 and 3 now. Mr. CL, rich account still very even. Sniping another monk. CL. Maybe I should change his finishing move. The killer of monks. Well, that's probably Stark as well now here. Using his own finishing move against himself. Not against himself. Well, you know what I meant. Okay, did I miss anything of the game? Actually now switching on to stone is Mr. Stark. Quite interesting. Something I didn't expect to happen that early. Maybe fearing an aggression from CL, who will get relic number 4 in the house even. Well, that's a good start for him. Now going for handcart, his eco is heavily ahead. Stark, as you can see of his resources, is thinking about Imperial Age and not queuing up more villagers, so he wants to go up to him. Now going on to stone. Interesting. Aggressive siege workshop again. Always going for this late siege workshop push. Kind of surprises me. Wong needs to drop off and he's doing exactly that. Onward should go against the camel here. Take a look and is getting it. Should run into the TC but didn't get it. And the camel should take good care of that. On the other side we still have CL building more villagers. And look at that, very low on food. So his aim timing will be far behind the ones of Stark, who eventually is adding villagers now. So that's quite surprising to me. Was just lacking some gold as it seems. And the siege workshop now by CL. What is he trying to go for? Well, Lightcap is still in the space. Is he trying to defend with Mangonel against Mangonel here? Will lose 1 villager most likely. And that's pretty ugly because he cannot really defend with his camels here. Because Lightcap can just run towards the monks. Always scare him away from potential threat of conversion. Hitting the barracks first. Stark really needs to use his market that he doesn't have. Okay. Now that's interesting. And he really doesn't want to send too many villagers into the TC over and over again. Okay, now we'll snack a monk and maybe even a Mangonel. So those are solid wins here for Stark. CL doesn't really know how to deal with the situation. CL buying himself up to him. Now look at the resources of Stark. That's just redonkulous. How many resources he has for such a long time, and finally he clicks up. Ay, ay, ay. And the other time, we should be seeing an upclick here as well. Getting the defensive castle up. Getting monk number 1, getting monk number 2. 1 conversion against him. That's solid for him. And now the focus on the monastery, most likely. Just deny those 4 relics and maybe even snag 1 or 2 home again. Start now, obviously, switching onto camels here. We'll try to go on Imperial camels. And CL will play this out with some Mangolites. Is heavily on stone. Did he scout his other stone spot in the back? No, he did not. His other stone spot in the front, not really in reach for him either. For now, CL only the first Mangolite queued up. Over here we can see the amount of relics. Migrating back the Mangonel, therefore the castle cannot really hit the light cap. Okay, now it can. Doing damage against the monastery here, but that won't be too important. And then the big question will be, how well will the elite Mangolites perform against Imperial camels? I heard Imperial camels are just wrecking them. Just wrecking them, but well, that's something we will see. Especially if CL can play this passively and defend quite nicely as well. Oh, last second repairs here on that Mangonel. Nice save by CL. We'll lose a monk though, and in the end we'll lose the Mangonel nonetheless. Those villagers, yeah, were happy with what they did, and after that they felt like, okay, our job is done here. He has to mix in harps a lot, don't you think? Well, Mongols don't have halberdiers, so that's a big problem. And that's a big problem of this matchup. That there is no good counter to the Imperial camels or the Mongols. Heavy camel tech now for Stark. Preparing some traps, going for an archery range. Is not having a lot of control in the back. Why don't he move the relics? Why he never moved the relic? Well, wouldn't be a bad choice. And the brothers, for example, are doing this quite nicely. I think I have seen Tallow do it as well. But CL isn't thinking about that just yet, as it seems. Putting another stable here at the front. Not 100% sure why. Building a beautiful base here to protect the traps from sniping down the traps of Stark here. Like that, camel, not with the greatest vision, but maybe take out more of those villagers, but we'll get cleared up now by the heavy camels. Let's take a look at the resources. We have just a bit shortage of food to get onto. Whoa, this trap isn't on its greatest mission. Just a shortage of food to get onto elite Mangolite. On the other side we have still the production of heavy camels, no Imperial camels inside this far. Still 1k food short, but look at that map control of Stark. Look at, he is active over here. He's building more left hand side, active with the cables at the right hand side, camels at the right hand side, and in the center here. So yeah, pretty sweet stuff. Will conscription finish in time? Trap, yeah, he's repairing it enough. And seems like CL is saving his assets as well. So in the end we will have Imperial camels against elite Mangolites. Exactly what we want to see. More map control for Stark, is getting the extra gold spots, but is behind 4-1 relics. Heavy camels now trying to come in, trying to do some damage, but moving all the siege. Maybe getting damage done against the monastery here. And now this is getting interesting. Rays are now coming up, so we're only missing, well, still quite a bit of upgrades. I don't think he has bloodlines or husbandry. I'm sure about, oh, that's not really going to work. Population, both about 120, 130. So that feels kind of fair. Not really getting the extra stone here. That's ugly for him. So stuck at 3 castles, which is totally fine, I'd say. Not getting his gold spot though. That's not too fine for him. I should be clearing up that castle. I feel like CL is in a reasonable spot in this game. Now getting ballistics, bloodlines, want to see the archery range upgrades. He's playing this quite patiently, doing the damage, although he's kind of getting sieged here. Obviously, we all would love to see him moving back the relics so that he can camp a bit more. Patriots now coming in. Oh god, and those are walls. That's a nice wall off. Imperial camera upgrades now finally on the way for Mr. Stark. CL is camping this quite well. Now going for chemistry. We're only waiting for Patriot tactics and thumpering as well. He just needs in camels and traps. Well, he lost 2 castles, so traps will be a toughie for him. He has to though. Oh, and the pressure against that monastery again. Well, at least has now some initiative to maybe get the relics further back. But look at that. They aren't doing the greatest damage of them all. The once Imperial Clements close the distance, the Mangodice cannot do a lot. Finally getting Parthian tactics and the +4, so I believe only Thumpering is missing to have all the upgrades for the Elite Mangodice. Obviously a unit that is getting upgraded on quite a lot of different facilities, but needs all those upgrades. You need ballistics, you need Pathian tactic, you need bloodlines. Just so important. The unit is really only that good because all those upgrades combine each other so well. We're losing some villagers now, but getting some damage done against the Imperial Camels. I think he stayed a bit for too long. Killed 3 Imperial Camels in exchange to like 5-6 villagers, but also did a lot of damage, I believe. Population, pop 180 against pop 130, and at the moment it's just a waiting and camping game. It feels like TL. I think he should delete some stuff here so that he can run left to right a bit earlier. Oh, he absolutely needs to have this close. Another hit. Is this open? I don't think so. Oh, no, it is not. And now the attack at the right hand side should come in again, and indeed it is. And oh, this is open. Ooh, what could get walled behind? Moving 1 relic so far. Oh, 2 Mangodites. Doing some reasonable work here. And now he's trying to take some engagements. At the same time we have Stark tacking onto some archers. So I expect elite skirmishers to be added indeed. Trying to deal with the elite Mangudai here. This is a pretty intense game. It's still CL'd way too hot. He's going for heavy camels himself now. I don't think that that's the best option. Oh! Not the greatest move here. Over patrolling a bit. Not using the traps at all at the moment. Taking a reasonable engagement over here though. And clearing up the right hand side. CL is playing this super clever, and now he is a patient one. I absolutely love this series so far. Okay, let's continue. Blocking that gold, maybe raiding the next spot. Stark even pulling back to finish those walls. Mangodice, they need to run as well. Same time sniping down 1 trap. Now no real answer to those elite skirmishers. Maybe even needs to add in some hussars. I don't like that he's going for heavy camels. It just won't do a good job against the Imperial camels here. Or why is he building them? Yeah, you want some buffer in front of your mango guys, but well, sometimes you can't have everything. And against Indians, not sure if that's the best option. Stark now taking to us as well. This could go on for quite some time. Oh god, mango guys, what are you doing? Completely running there without any patrol. Wanted to go for the raids, but so many Imperial camels were sitting there, and that seems like 6, 7 mango guys. Only 5 going down. Make that 6. Make that 7. Without really doing much. Now opening another area, and now he is open at, well, only that spot at the moment. Bought that one off again. Well, it's open a bit. Now going for that monastery again. Oh man, so much interesting stuff here going on. Now going for guilds to Stark. I absolutely love that upgrade. Monks getting even some quick converts here. Good for them. Monasteries still working. KD, somewhat even. Obviously, the Mongols players should be having the advantage when it comes to the KD. But in cost efficiency, that's another thing. Ooh, so very intense. A lot of Imperial camels now dying. Mostly elite skirmishers in part of the army composition. But oh, some Imperial camels now with the surprise attack from behind. But not the big numbers that you really need to have to clear all this up. And CL just working quite nicely with his army here and pulling them back quite a bit, getting another engagement, clearing up elite scum after elite scum, sending over his traps. Was probably fearing some aggression over at the right hand side. Maybe could send some villagers over again and try to get that stone, and that's exactly what he's doing. At the same time, maybe send some more villagers and try to get that gold. Oh, it's all about elite mango dice here. Yeah, only getting that gold. Stark still has some to mine. Take a look at resources. CL pop 130. Stark, ay. Mass resources banked up. Now trying to snipe those castles. No masonry yet by CL. That's an upgrade he should have gotten ages ago. Another raid coming over here. Another castle. This looks still good for Stark. Yeah, CL played this pretty patiently, but it just feels like there's no real answer. And why is he trying to focus down that monastery over and over again? Now the elite skirmishers in the front. Mango cannot take a cost-efficient trade here. Some onagers would be a beautiful addition, but so costly obviously to tech and then to build as well. I don't like the addition of the heavy camels here. Continuing to push in, and those elite skirmishers aren't even performing too shabbily against those camels of the Mongols. Obviously only having +2 defense. Compare that to the Imperial camels with +5. And CL realizes, damn, it's not going forward. And he can just build so many good units. He has the extra gold spots. I only have the relic advantage at the moment of 1, 2, 1, but 3 closer to me. That's an advantage. And therefore, I have to tab out and have Stark now with 2 match points. Sweet stuff for them. Or him. CL was more efficient there, but was that the most important thing? Probably not. Stark heavily ahead when it comes to eco. Look at that, double the amount when it comes to food. More gold as well. Did get the blockage of the second stone spot there for CL. CL didn't find his extra stone in the corner, and therefore CL with its shift disadvantage now behind. I'm continuing with this series, not switching over. I will cast the Rex of Viper and Tether then. So now they can choose between Ethiopians, Indians and Incas. Your time to spam the chat, guys. What would you go for? Or what would you go for and why? Ethiopians for their good archers. Incas for their variety of things. Kamayuks, slingers, tower rush, which no one of them will go for. Eagles, monks, siege, or Indians. Best boom and imperial camels. Tell me, guys. Tell me why. Did I unplug my microphone? No. What happened? Suddenly my computer completely freezed. Oh god, guys. Well, we have Celts and Indians. Okay. Okay, now the big question is, how would you solve that issue if one player is picking a Civ now and the other one yeah, and Stark is rightfully saying now he has the advantage. It should, like, I would rule it if it was my tournament. Stark can now decide the civilization of CL. Stark has to stay with Indians, and CL has to play whatever Stark says. Where's the admin? Where is T-Man? Celtic versus Celtic! Oh god! Oh god, drama! 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 CL wants to restart. Where's G-Man? There's no admin around. That's just a joke. How I would rule it, as I said before. st4rk has to stay with Indians and CL. Oh god! No Celtic. No Celtic. That's so unfortunate. And it seems like that was a mistake by the translator. Let me take a look. When did we have Celtic War? Game 6. We never had Celtic War. Full corn muesli using a Switch Prime. Thank you so much, mate. st4rk left the room. India! Oh, the poor CL cannot really talk the best of English and just saying like, no Celtic? India? Oh. I hate drama. Grabs popcorn. Well, st4rk. Well, leaving is just stupid by st4rk as well. I think st4rk should play Indians and decide Civ for CL. Admin match win for st4rk. What? They ruled it admin win? That would be so bad. That would be so bad. And st4rk is offline. Guys. Well, that's just a joke.